basketball!
Welcome back to Good Morning Let's Basketball, everyone. My name is Mike Too Sloppy, and these are my co-hosts Victor, 4K Kev, and Danny B. Today we got a lot planned. We got a fun one. So we're going to start out talking about potential expansion teams moving current NBA teams to the Eastern Conference and how that's going to shake up conferences in the NBA. We're going to move into a little game ranking or trying to guess the top 10 colleges that produce the most NBA players. After that, we're going to move into each of us have brought a playoff hot take to the table, and we're going to go over all of our hot takes, discuss them. And after that, we're going to blind rank championship teams. We got a lot planned. It's going to be a fun one. And as always, we're going to end with comment of the week, as we usually do, this segment where we give back to you guys. But we appreciate all the support, as always, that we've been gaining recently. We just had a real pop off on Instagram. I think it's sitting at 155,000 views. Shout out everyone who viewed that and who follows us on IG at GMLB Pod. If you're listening on audio, that being Spotify or Apple Podcasts, we appreciate you being here. We'd appreciate the rating, but shout out to everyone who's been supporting us. We're sitting at, I think, like 540 subs right now, halfway to 1K, and we'll get there soon. But I'll let Kevin take over. Kevin, go ahead and kick us off.
Yeah. So, like Miles said earlier, rumor has it, and we've been seeing the news around possible NBA expansion teams over the past few years now, with teams being added to Las Vegas and bringing the Seattle Supersonics back, which I would be extremely excited to see. I think it's about time Seattle gets their NBA team back because they have very good fan bases for all their sports. So I think they'll definitely pop out for their NBA team. But in saying that, this would kind of throw off the evenness of teams in the NBA because Vegas and Seattle would be added to the West Conference, which means that a team or two, depending on what expansion teams get added, because they might only start off with one and then add the second, depending who they add first, a team will have to move to the Eastern Conference. And one team that everyone is saying that has the most possibility of moving to the Eastern Conference would be the Minnesota Timberwolves, because they're already in the East. It kind of never really made sense to me why they're in the Eastern Conference, and they're like closer to Milwaukee and Chicago more than like anybody. So they would definitely join that division. So it makes perfect sense. Two other teams that could possibly join the Eastern Conference. It would most likely only be one of these, since only two expansion teams would be added to the West, would be the Memphis Grizzlies, who are further east than the Timberwolves, or the Pelicans, because they kind of sit like right in the middle of like everything. So I
Man,
kind of
fuck the
wanted to ask.
Pelicans, bro. We don't want them fucking Pelicans in our Eastern Conference.
I was gonna say it'd be kind of cool to just keep them in the West. But let's say let's say let's say 3 years from now they do add the Supersonics and Vegas in the Western Conference, both of them at the same exact time, and Timberwolves get moved to the East and Memphis gets moved to the East. We argue or make the argument that the East could potentially be better than the West.
I'll go ahead and say I don't know if it'd be better, but right off the bat, number one thing is I'd be really happy to see the Celtics have some kind of competition because the East is extremely top heavy. Hey man, I'm stating the
That was
facts.
good.
You can react how you want. I'm
No,
stating the facts.
I did that because I knew you'd notice it.
Who are you looking at? Were you looking at me or Kevin?
I was actually looking at Daniel, Kevin. I didn't see what you
Oh,
did, but
okay.
I'll see it back on
Yeah.
film, so we're good.
Oh,
But
I'll shut up then. The Daniel roll his eyes because me too.
I just went like, okay, but
hey man,
continue.
I did this.
Continue.
all I'm saying is, bro, the Celtics are record-wise the best team in the league, and the Timberwolves are number one in the West. So seeing the West is obviously more even all the way through, but seeing just another great team enter the East will kind of, I think, alleviate some of the pressure the East has at being the better conference. But yeah, that's my opinion.
So I'm gonna go with the East would get stronger if the Pelicans, if the Grizzlies, or even the Timberwolves were to move to the East. And the reason for that is just because of the word potential. And the way that I can best sum that up is when I think about the division between the West and the East right now, not across the board, but I'm going to make a very general statement about them. It's kind of this, I don't want to say older all stars and older legends and stuff like that, but it's definitely an older side of the league. And I see the East as more of kind of a rising star there's a lot of younger players on there. And again, very general because you have teams like the Rockets and the Thunder and stuff like that, which are outliers. But when I just look at teams like the Clippers, the Warriors, the Lakers, right, they're not in a position of, oh, we have a lot of potential going forward and we're going to be good in such and such years, right? It's win now situation. So that's kind of just what I mean by a little bit older. Same thing goes for the Phoenix Suns. And then, if the East were to get two more or three younger teams, I just think that in the next, 2 or 3 years, it would not take long for that East to be stronger than the West. And that's kind of the timeline that I would put it at.
Daniel, that's a very interesting way you put that. I do like that you said the West is a lot older, and by the time these teams are added, a lot of these teams in the West probably won't be there, like the Warriors, Lakers, Suns, and then the Clippers, you said.
Clippers
But
are one, yeah.
yeah, but what I was going to say was it's interesting looking at it because you're adding two new teams, expansion teams to the West. The West, those two teams aren't probably going to be good the first couple seasons of the NBA. You're adding new players, probably from like bench players. I forgot how the expansion rules go to those teams. And then I think the East is on the come up. We've talked about it before. East is looking really good. But one thing I wanted to mention was about this season is how good the West has really been. There's currently four teams with 50 wins, and then probably going to be a fifth with the Mavericks. They have 3 games left, and then the Pelicans potentially could be a sixth team if they finish out the season winning their last 3 games. They're at 47 wins right now. But I saw this thing saying that if the Lakers are currently ninth in the West, 45 and 35. If this was last season, they would be tied for fourth in the West.
That's crazy.
Oops. Sorry, LeBron.
Everything's kind of pretty much been said. It absolutely pains me to say this, but Daniel had some logic that I agreed with because the West is aging. There's a lot of teams that, yeah, they do have superstars, but they are old. I was going to say that myself, but it's already been said by Daniel, then reiterated by Victor. But one thing that I think will be dope about the Timberwolves moving to the East is I feel like if both these teams stay consistent with how great they are right now, is a 7-game series between the Timberwolves and the Celtics could be a really great series to watch.
That's the series I want in the finals, bro. I want it
Celtics
so
You
are
ain't
bad.
getting it. You ain't getting it.
What
Yeah,
did
the
you say?
Wolves probably won't make it. Yeah, you're right.
What was the matchup? I didn't hear it. It was, you said Celtics and who?
Timberwolves.
I think he'll be Boston and Denver.
One thing I did want to say though is like New Orleans, Memphis, and the Timberwolves, they better pray that their franchises can like remain relevant because that's 2 out of 3 of those teams are going to end up in the East, and those are horrible like free agent destinations. So we're gonna see if
Wait,
those teams don't stay relevant, might have some shitty teams on our hands.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too. Like, hopefully, like the Timberwolves can like stay like consistent with how like good they are right now, and I think
Yeah.
they will just because like they're led by a 22-year-old,
Hmm.
and the veterans on their team aren't too old. Besides, like, I don't really know how old Rudy Gobert is, but I don't think he's that old. Like, I don't think he's aging in the wrong direction.
I think he's like 32, something like that.
Okay,
I
well,
really hope
31
that's
years
that's
old.
close.
He's 31 years old.
Okay, bet that's close enough.
even then, I feel like he could play for like a decent amount of time, though. Grab rebounds, block shots. He
Keep
can
them
do
at a
that till he's like
competitive
30.
level though, as their like go-to guy. I don't know. I'm just making a comment on it.
You just call Rudy Gobert their go-to guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't
Well,
think he's
no,
quite
not
the go-to
go-to,
guy.
but like in as a defensive player and down low, I feel like that is who they're relying on right now. And
Yeah,
if
for sure.
three
You're
years
right with
from
that.
now,
Definitely
yeah,
their best rim protector, but I think they're pretty strong defensively all around too, though.
yeah, no, they are.
I heard that Rudy Gobert is actually like he was the one who like implemented the defense or like had a huge say in how they run defense, which is interesting because a lot of people like to credit Chris Finch, but Chris Finch credited Rudy Gobert for like I wouldn't say it's all of the scheme, but it's like he had a major impact on the scheme, which is I think that's testament not only to how well he plays defense, but also how well he understands it.
Another thing too is Rudy Gobert's had a healthy season this year. Last season, he wasn't really that healthy.
True.
Do we think that rim protectors are more valuable and useful than perimeter defenders? I saw people having a debate about this on TikTok the other day, and it really sparked my interest. So I want to see
That's
what you guys think.
actually that's
I
a
think
great question.
I think right now perimeter defenders, everybody's shifting to the three. You're seeing the starting centers be able to shoot behind the arc now, and I think if you're going to NBA, having perimeter defense is going to be key. I think rim protection's great, but the way that NBA game is going right now, I'm going to go perimeter defense.
I'm actually gonna go against Victor on this one, and I'm gonna say that it might be more valuable to have a rim protector, just because when you look at the Timberwolves' situation, it's proven that in their case, in the stronger West, a rim protector is leading them. Well, not leading them, shouldn't say that, but he's putting them in a good position right now. And I think that while it is true that the league is definitely more three dominant than it has been in the past few years. It that's not to say that, everyone knocks down their shot. And it is, I don't want to say easy, but I think it's no, I'm gonna go with easier because I can't come up with a better word, but I think it's easier to contest a 3-point shot than it is to be like, a really good rim protector. But that's just, again, very straightforward analogy. So that's my opinion.
I was gonna say I'm actually gonna agree with Daniel because looking at the top teams in both the East and the West, you have like the Celtics, who have obviously Porzingis. The Bucks have Brook Lopez. The Wolves have Rudy Gobert. The Thunder have Chet. The Nuggets have Jokic, but I don't really consider him like a true rim protector. But yeah, I kind of feel like rim protectors are more important. Just looking at the facts here, just looking at the teams that are at the top and how they play defense. But I guess we'll see in the playoffs because that's when it matters.
What do you
Yeah,
think?
I think Daniel ate his Wheaties this morning because I'm gonna go ahead and agree with him too on this one. I'm in. I
Daniel
think rim
Goat.
protection. I think rim protection is definitely more important because I think I could be wrong. I probably might have to think about this a little bit more, but I feel like there's less, not left, less
You are all right.
valuable and elite rim protectors in the league than there are perimeter defenders. So having a really good rim protector really puts you in an advantage. And I don't really like the term rim protector as much because I feel like it only directs them towards blocking shots and kind of steers them away from being great rebounders as well, which I think is one of the most important things in the game of basketball. If you're able to grab defensive rebounds,
As a former big
limited
man,
teams.
as a
Yeah,
former big,
Rim
exactly.
presence
Former.
is maybe a good name.
And also because like obviously grabbing defensive rebounds is very important. Limiting the offensive second chance and third chance points can really decide the outcome of games. But also being able to grab offensive rebounds is really huge. So I never really liked the term rim protector because I feel like it's kind of just pushes them towards just being a shot blocker. But like all of like the elite like rim protectors in the NBA, they all do like grab rebounds at a very efficient rate. Which is why I would like okay, Jokic isn't a rim protector, but the dude grabs 15 rebounds a game.
yeah,
So it's
true.
like,
So I'm gonna start using the phrase and coining it rim presence, a player with good rim presence and aura, because that's exactly like Jokic is a good player to like say that about. He has aura, he has presence like around the rim, not
Well,
just in a defensive sense or offensive sense, I guess.
a lot of it is like intimidation too. Like just being like knowing having the status of a shot blocker makes you a better defender because like people won't test you. I feel like people like will dribble in and like have second thoughts. And you see that especially with Rudy Gobert.
watch a Spurs game.
Yeah, Wemby too. Yeah, I don't know how I didn't even
Yeah.
think of Wemby. I will say, as a former teammate, intramural basketball teammate of 4K Kev, I will say cleaning the boards made it a lot easier to play basketball, not having to worry about that. So I agree with you on that.
If you made it this far in the video, we want to thank you guys for watching, and please leave a like and subscribe. We are on the road to 600 subscribers. We're trying to get that before the end of April. If you guys could do that, it'd mean a lot. We enjoy making this content for you guys. And if you could leave a rating on Apple Podcast or Spotify, and back to pod.
So moving on, right now I have a list of the top 10 colleges that have produced the most NBA players throughout its history. Miles, Daniel, and Victor are each going to take a guess, and whoever gets the most at the end wins. So I'm going to go in reverse order on my screen here. So I'm going to start with Victor. You're first. Throw me a college, and we'll see if it's in the top 10.
Kentucky.
Kentucky is number one.
Damn.
Congratulations to Victor.
That was gonna be my guess.
There's colleges that you can throw out there, and you'll probably get it.
Yeah,
Daniel,
I mean,
you're up next, though.
this is, even if it's not in the top like 5, it has to be in the top 10. Give me the Blue Devils, University of Duke.
Duke comes in at number 3 on the list of most NBA players of all time. Can we go 3 for 3, Miles? Your guess next.
I'll go UNC.
UNC at number 4, most NBA players of all time. Went 3 for 3 there.
Like
all right, Victor, back to you. We have 1, 3, and 4 right now.
I'm drawing a blank on the one I was thinking of originally, but I'm gonna go with UConn.
UConn is not on the list. The streak ends there. Daniel, back to you. A lot of good players from UConn, though.
There are a lot of good players from UConn.
Shout out Kling Kong.
I'm gonna go a place that just pumps out players. Give me the West Coast UCLA Bruins.
Fuck.
Home
Damn
of
you.
Russell Westbrook, Lonzo Ball. It's got to be number
Damn
2.
you.
UCLA does come in at number 2.
Fuck. That was
So
what
we
I
got-
was gonna say.
So we got 1 through 4 right now. We're doing well.
You know what? This
This
might
is where it
be
becomes difficult, though, for sure.
yeah, we got the big ones. Those were I would consider the big ones. Give me Kansas.
Kansas comes in at number 5, so the top 5 is wiped. Kansas goes to Miles. Miles with 2, Daniel with 2, Victor with 1. Victor, your guess goes back to you.
Give me Michigan.
That's a good one.
Michigan
Yeah,
does
that
not
was a
fall in the
good one.
top 10.
What?
Not good enough.
Wow.
Daniel, back to you.
Damn, this is tough. Let's go with University of Syracuse.
Syracuse does not fall on the list. Shout out Melo, though.
I'm gonna go with Michigan State.
That's a good one.
Michigan State does not fall on the list.
Wow.
Victor.
So none of us
Back
that
to you.
round.
Shout out Denzel Valentine.
Georgetown.
I forgot that was a college. Georgetown does not fall on the
What is
list.
that? What kind of guess is that?
hey, George.
Hey, Patrick
Georgetown-
Ewing
I
went
was-
there. I think
Who else?
I
Allen
was
Iverson.
gonna guess.
Who
Allen
else
Iverson
besides
went
those two? Everyone knows those two. Who else?
I think Mac
Who else?
McClung.
He did for
Mac
one
McClung.
year. He did for
Mac
one
McClung,
year.
he was at Georgetown, yeah.
All right, fair.
All right.
My
back
career
up.
guy went to Georgetown one year.
Honestly,
Serious.
I might have hated too early. I don't know if I have a better one.
Better get his ass back.
Give me an East Coast team, somewhere that college players would. I feel like these players, like this college had a lot more players from the 2000s. Maybe I'm wrong. Give me the University of Miami. Big U.
University of Miami does not fall within the top 10.
Wow.
That actually wasn't a bad guess because I was gonna go with University of Florida. Shout out
Success.
Joakim Noah.
Is that your guess?
Yeah, the one
Your
that
guess is
Joakim
wrong.
Noah went to.
The way he
Fuck.
said it, though, I thought he was gonna give us one.
Really?
I thought he was gonna be like, "Is that your guess?" Well, then you'd be
Florida
right.
not in the top 10.
That's the one. The Gators.
Not the Gators.
Damn, that's crazy. Fuck. I still think that's better than Georgetown though.
Give me who's yours?
You
No.
coming in at number 7. No, shut your mouth.
What?
Yep.
I was gonna say
Wow.
that was my next guess. I should have done it before Florida.
You coming in at number 7. Daniel, next guess is to you. It's all tied up.
Give me somewhere that's had some more somewhat recent success. Give me the Bulldogs. Did someone say Gonzaga yet?
And you shouldn't have said it either because it is not in the top 10.
Get ready for the lead to be taken. I'm going Villanova.
Solid guess, but they are
Damn.
not in the top 10.
Wow, that's shocking.
I think, dude, I think we're just recency bias. I think we're just guessing teams that are like recently good.
But nah, but
Maybe.
okay, sure.
We need like
No,
all
these are
because like
solid.
the
These are
Hoosiers,
solid
bro.
guesses.
That's like all time. That's like all time.
That
Yeah.
that is true.
Shit,
Give me Louisville.
that's a good
Louisville
one.
coming in at number 8.
It's a really good one.
Victor has the lead.
Give me the Oklahoma Sooners.
Oklahoma Sooners are not in the top 10.
Dude, for a second, I thought you were gonna say the Thunder. I don't know why.
Eat dicks.
Give me USC. Let's go. Let's go USC.
Solid guess, but not in the top 10.
Damn.
Back to
How
Vic.
many teams left?
We have team number 6, team number 9, and team number 10 left. So 3.
I think this is wrong, but I'm gonna go with Texas.
Texas is a solid guess, but is not in the top 10.
Damn, bro. Victor's like guessing everyone I'm gonna take next. Fuck.
Goes to Daniel next.
Give me the University of Auburn.
Not in the top 10.
This is definitely wrong. Give me Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt. No, that is wrong. This is not in the top 10.
Such a waste. Such a waste of a fucking guess. Oh man.
I don't know if anybody said this, but anybody say Arizona?
Oh my.
Arizona coming in at number 6. Victor's running away with it.
Give me Marquette.
That was
Marquette
my
does
next
not
one.
fall in the top 10.
I'm gonna go Baylor.
Pretty solid guess, but not in the top 10. Forgot that was a school, low-key. So it's
like
going
we
back to Vic.
I feel like we got a lot of the heavy. Oh my. I know. I know exactly which one it is.
Give me Houston.
Dude, every time, bro.
Nope.
Oh, thank you. Fuck. That was exactly who I was gonna pick.
Give me Alabama.
Alabama is not in the top 10.
I'm gonna go LSU.
Also not in the top 10, but a very solid guess. Would you guys like a hint for the last 2 teams?
Can I go before and then you can give the hint?
Oh, he has the answer.
No,
But
I think I'm
it-
confident in this pick.
All right, go ahead.
Can you give me is Wisconsin there?
Nope, you have to just guess it. Then he does the hint.
Is Wisconsin your guess?
Yeah.
Wisconsin is not on the top 10.
I want one more round before the hint, so Victor could get it too, I guess. Because I have one as well.
Okay. So yeah, Daniel and Miles, you guys can go next, and then I'll give the hint.
Give me Oregon Bucks or Ducks. Fuck.
The Oregon Bucks are not in the top 10, and neither are the Oregon Ducks.
I'm gonna go Texas A&M.
Solid guess, but not in the top 10.
Dude, you've said solid guess to me the last 4 rounds. Solid guess, but not in the top 10. I appreciate the feedback, but bro, let me get one.
All right. So how do you guys want to do the final 2 teams? You want me to like say I'll give the hint and whoever says it first? Like there's no like order. Whoever just says it says it.
I think
Yeah.
that's fair.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
That's how we usually do it.
All right. So for team number 9, this could give it away. So be on your toes here. Your hint for college number 9 is it is an Indiana school.
Purdue.
Purdue.
No.
Notre Dame.
Boulder.
Notre
Oh,
Dame goes to Daniel.
Notre Dame.
to
Damn,
Daniel.
bro. That's crazy. I didn't know they were making NBA talent like that. That's a
I was
great-
gonna guess Notre Dame too the last round, but I was like, "There's no way Notre Dame has NBA talent that came out of there." But I guess they do.
You're back on your bullshit from 2
My
weeks
said
ago.
Ball State.
No, I'm not.
Did you actually say? I didn't hear that. Ball
I
State.
think aren't
that's
they
funny.
D2?
Dude, I
No,
don't
they're
know,
D, they're
man.
D1. They're
I was
D1.
tweaking. My ass was tweaking.
All
Let's go 2 for 2. Let's go. Let's go. I'm tied with Victor right now. I'm pretty sure.
No, you're
I'll
not.
make it a
Relax.
3-way.
What
Shut
am
your
I?
hype.
No.
He's up by 1.
Yeah. So Victor has 1, 2, 3, 4. Daniel
Oh
has
shit.
1, 2, 3. Miles has 2. So this last one could be a tiebreaker.
So I'm playing to basically make sure Daniel doesn't win right now.
Well, if
Or
you do
Daniel
that, then
doesn't
you're
tie.
fucking.
Hey,
You're
do
pl-
that.
That's what I'm
you're
playing
playing
for.
you're
No,
playing to make sure that Daniel doesn't tie Victor.
no, you're going
Okay.
la 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 over Victor, so that way I do tie him.
I'm about to turn my mic up.
Let's go.
All
I'm
right.
ready.
Georgia.
So
And if it was, dude, imagine.
you got it. All right. So hint for team number 10. I have two hints. I want to give the first one. It's probably not going to narrow it down, but I think it's a cool hint, and I want to see who might know this. So hint for college team number 10. J. Cole could have played college ball here.
Memphis.
No.
Really? I didn't know Jake. I knew he could hoop. I didn't know he was hooping like
Oh my
that.
god, dude, I should know. Hold
Appa-
on.
You're telling me
apparently,
J. Cole could have went to a school that's top 10 in NBA talent production?
apparently he tried out for the team and they offered him, but he didn't want to play.
What a I mean, I guess it worked out. I can't really call him a
Yeah, we can't we can't say anything because he played pro ball eventually.
It's not in like because he's from North Carolina, isn't he? But we
No,
already
he's
said
not.
really? Where's he from?
He
Baylor?
grew up in North Carolina,
I
but he
already
wasn't
said
born there, I
Baylor.
believe.
Is it Baylor?
It is not
Tennessee
Baylor,
Longhorns.
not Tennessee.
Yeah, I honestly don't know.
Wouldn't
Next
be
hint.
you.
Yeah.
This school is in the state of New York.
Shit. Fuck.
Albany,
No,
Syracuse. We already said Syracuse. Uh, dude, am I tripping? Uh,
I'm
Wait.
drawing blanks.
damn, bro.
Did someone
Uh, St. John.
St. John is correct at number 10.
Fuck!
what?
So
Even see that one, and how the hell
I
would
didn't
we
even
know about
fucking know
St.
that.
John, Kevin?
I didn't know that was even in fucking New York. I was just going through the list of Division One colleges. They beat
yeah,
IU,
they usually do
didn't
make
they,
the tournament.
last year.
So that was St. Mary's
Oh, okay. My
2 years
bad.
ago. 2 years ago, they lost to St. Mary's.
What NBA players went there? Wait, was that number 10?
Yeah, Chris Mullen, Mark Jackson, a lot of like older players.
Wait,
Damn.
We
and
need
J.
to
Cole could have
reset. They
went
need to
there?
erase all that history and just come up with new shit.
J. Cole went to that college and he tried out for the team.
Bill Wennington. Oh, Mo
Yeah, they had a lot of players.
Harkless.
Mo Harkless did go there, yes. They have decent players,
Wow.
mostly older players though.
Is
But
Davis on the list?
that concludes. Is there a reason you're screaming in the microphone?
No. Shut up.
Okay. So that concludes our interactive segment. We got another one coming later of guessing the top 10 colleges that have produced the most NBA players. Victor coming in at first place, and then Miles and Daniel splitting the silver. All right, now we're going to move on to a little bit of a debate topic. I asked the boys earlier in the day today to bring in your best NBA personal hot take about this year's upcoming playoffs. So we're going to go ahead and tell you guys our hot takes and also explain ourselves a little bit. A little bit of a disclaimer before we get into this. These are hot takes. They're supposed to be crazy, so I don't want to hear you nerds in the comment section saying shit I don't want to hear. I'm so serious.
You'll be a victim of Kevin's
Say it.
replies.
Yeah, I'll be active on these reels. I so will. So who wants to kick it off?
I guess one hot take is that the Lakers will most likely not dominate, but they will do really well, I think, in the playoffs. My reasoning behind that, like we said earlier, I've been saying this, I think, since before December. Immediately when I saw the West basically just getting like closer and closer and all these teams being neck and neck to now when we brought it up earlier in this podcast that teams are neck and neck. And even back then, I was saying that I think that's just a testament to how competitive and how strong the West is, and that none of these playoff series are going to be easy or are going to be a straight up, wash. I think that everyone will be put to the test, and I think that we'll see some really good NBA on display come that time. So, yeah, I mean, I think that when I look at the team with LeBron, I like them. I think that they've done some good things this season, won some matchups that they've needed to win, and kind of just shown that they have the potential to work as a cohesive unit and beat the best teams in the league. So, yeah, that's going to be my hot take, is that the Lakers will make a deep playoff run.
That's crazy, bro. You know, that is a hot take because I watched their game last night against the Warriors and it was fucking horrible.
So
Dude,
bad.
they
Dude,
looked. Did you watch that? Dude, it
yeah,
was
bro.
horrible.
They're
Horrid.
so bad. I mean, I thought them about that like last year too, and shit, they made it to the conference finals.
Did you see LeBron throw the pass to the corner with no one standing in it? Did you see
I
that?
saw him do that. I saw him throw a lob to Jackson Hayes to hit the top of the backboard. I
Dude,
saw
there
a
were
lot,
air
bro.
balls. There were air balls everywhere.
Dude,
It was fucking bad.
they played horrible.
Yeah, that shit
But
was
that's the
trash.
reason but that's the reason it's a hot take.
Yeah. I mean, they did it last year, like you said, so
Yeah,
it's possible.
can never rule out LeBron.
Who wants to go next?
Victor's going next.
I don't know how much of a hot take this is, but I just have a little bit of a high on the 76ers this season. And I think them sitting at the 7th seed right now, they could possibly go to the 6th. And then if they're at the 6th, I think that with the way Embiid just came back, the way they've played with him on the court this season, they've been phenomenal. He was averaging, I think, almost like 35 points per game when they had him. And this is the per 300 possessions, excluding garbage time, they've had the most effective five-man lineup, plus 33.3 on the floor. And I think that they could make a deep playoff run. They could go to Eastern Conference Finals, maybe even finals. We'll see. That I'm just putting it out there. Maybe the
Don't
maybe we'll
even
see
put it
some.
out there.
We'll see. Maybe Jason Tatum will have his regular fourth quarter performances, but you never know.
And you know what? I'll take it from there because as I've changed my name for this topic, got to make sure that I rep my set. And my hot take is that Jaylen Brown will win Finals MVP.
That's I thought maybe I was gonna have the craziest one. But
I think I I was between picking two. The other one was Bucks will be first round exits, but they play the Sixers, and Victor kind of covered that. So I had to go with the hot one, bro. And that's Jaylen Brown will win the Finals MVP. And it is because
that's
I think any team. I'm kind of assuming that one of the top three seeds in the West are going to make it to the finals. And I do think it's going to be between Denver and the Timberwolves. And both of those defenses are really good at guarding Jason Tatum. So I think it's going to come down to the X factor, Jaylen Brown. I think if we're going to win the finals this year, it's going to be up to him. And for that reason, it's going to be Jaylen Brown will win the finals MVP. He's going to
see
prove the
with
left hand allegations wrong.
Victor's hot take had some like stats behind it. Ours are just straight delusion.
I could give the Bucks one later. I'll let you go
No,
first though.
I was gonna say
The
too.
Bucks I could actually see happening for
The
some reason.
Bucks
I don't know
like
why.
the Bucks I went so in depth, but I was like, nah man, fuck that. I'm gonna go with the one hot take I actually have here.
It's a
Uh,
smoking take.
what I wanted to say was
Not
about
really.
the Bucks, man.
I
Is
mean,
I wonder if they were exit out first round, who's Doc Rivers going to blame? The bus
Yeah.
drivers,
who's
Uh,
Giannis gonna
because
blame?
the custodians.
It's like during freaky time, you think about it.
I really need the Bucks to lose like 2 or 3 more games than the Knicks right now, so that way my take isn't wrong.
Yeah,
Because I had the take that the Bucks were going to end up third, and you guys said I was crazy. But they're at second right now, so now I'm the one who's crazy.
I think
I thought you I thought you
I
said the
think
Bucks were gonna be like fourth or fifth.
Oh.
I said third or fourth. I did say that.
I
I was
think
closer to yeah. Go ahead.
the Bucks being a first round exit might be the coldest hot take though. Like I think that argument holds a lot of weight that like kind of doesn't make it that much of a hot take.
Yeah, I agree
Because of
with
who
that.
they can potentially play would be Philly. Because Philly was
Well,
a top 3 team before Embiid got hurt.
yeah, well, Victor said Philly would go to the finals potentially. So I think that take is hot. I don't think them beating the Bucks is as hot. It's like the
Yeah.
coldest hot take, you know. But I want to hear
Yeah.
yours, Kev. I want to hear yours.
Never mind. Mine
I
could
do.
be the craziest. my hot take for the upcoming NBA playoffs. Let me get my mode. The Orlando Magic, sitting at the 4th seed, 46-33, currently 2 spots behind the 2 seed in the NBA Eastern Conference. If they play with their high energy that they usually play with, if they don't get shook by the experience in the playoffs, there's a lot of beatable teams in the Eastern Conference besides the Celtics. They could definitely beat the Celtics too. They beat them in the in-season tournament for a game to move on. That doesn't mean anything 8 months later from that, but I think it does.
Okay. Thank you.
And if they play through their best player, Paolo Banchero, who's been getting no media coverage this year, but has been an all-star in his second year in the NBA, I believe this team can make a deep playoff run similar to what the Atlanta Hawks did 3 years ago.
I like that take, although I know this is not a knock on you being a Duke fan. This is my actual opinion. I think Paolo was like on the cusp of not being an all-star this year. I think it might have been a little bit of a stretch for him to be an all-star. It's definitely the East being weaker for that, but I do think he will be a perennial all-star. I just think it's early. Also, I don't know if Paolo can lead a team to a deep playoff run yet, but I guess that's the hot take. That's the hot in the take. So, yeah,
Right.
definitely
I
hot.
think part of him being an all-star this year too was his team actually being good. If the Orlando
Yeah.
Magic were what they were last season, absolutely not. He would not have been considered. He's playing extremely well this season, and it sucks that the draft class after him had freaking Victor Wembanyama in it because they're not going to talk about the second year players. They rarely ever do. Whenever the new rookie class comes in, they kind of just they become like secondary. But this dude needs to get talked about more. People are considering him the next Paul George. Definitely see the comparison. He's huge.
Did you
I
guys
don't
hear
know. I
about?
don't
And
think
you
he's
look
nearly as smooth.
Did you guys hear
no,
about the
but like
potential rumors?
when it
What
comes to
rumors?
like what he can do on offense and how solid he can be on defense, he can shoot the three, he can drive, he can shoot in the mid range. He has a really good post up in the midi. People like compare it to like a Paul George,
What's the news,
and I do
Daniel?
too.
Supposedly, the Orlando Magic are gearing up to offer Klay Thompson a pretty large sum amount of money. According to them, they
I did see
have,
that.
yeah, according to
Oh
them, they
shit.
have like, what's the word? A lot of young talent, but no real shooter that they can rely on, I think. So, yeah, they're
I
they're
don't
gearing
think
up
Klay
to
Thompson is is a reliable shooter anymore.
they're looking for some veteran presence too. I don't know. But that
Hey, but
is the consensus.
he could tap into that old shooting habits with just a change of scenery. That's all you need sometimes.
It's
True.
possible.
Get
With
Backs
Draymond
the
less
too.
pressure
question.
on him.
Backs the question though. Kevin, why was the Orlando Magic your hot take? I'm
I'm not just feel
sorry.
like we
Yo,
what happened.
yo. What
I
the
wasn't
fuck?
looking. What happened?
He said he talked about Orlando wanting Klay Thompson, and then he asked you, so why was Orlando your
No,
hot
I think
take?
he heard it. I think he understood it.
And
He was confused as why you guys fucking started dying. And it was because I looked at the camera like this after I said it.
I would not have got that if you didn't look at the camera.
I didn't see him look at the camera. I like looked down because he asked me, and I just like was like fixing the way I was sitting.
I'm sorry. I never make those jokes. I had to make one. And that was too finely set up.
It was all right.
I will say, if Orlando gets Clay, bring Draymond because that man had Stephen Curry in fucking tears, real tears during an NBA game. They both need to go, bro. And Wiggins,
Uh,
bro, throw him in too. Get them all out. Get them all out.
I saw
We need a
one
restart.
thing. I saw one thing. I don't know if it was tied in with a Stephen A quote or it might have been the same thing, but that there's 20 to 25 teams that are interested in Klay Thompson this offseason. And then
Holy shit.
and then Stephen A said that the Knicks need to be the top recruit and that they need to get Klay Thompson.
No, I think the Knicks are perfectly fine. I mean, it
That's what
sucks
I
because
think too.
Julius Randle's not coming back. He's gonna miss the remainder of the season, which sucks. That really sucks for them. But I don't think they need to add Klay Thompson. They have Bogdanovich. They have OG. They just don't need
I,
him.
I
Am
feel like
am
there's
I
no
dumb?
room for him.
Am I dumb for saying this? Like, I was the first one, I feel like, at the start of either this season or last season on the pod that said that I thought Klay Thompson was gonna prove himself. I think it's this season, right? Because he's under like a weird like contract stipulation and stuff, and he does need to like have a good season. Well, anyway, how the hell? I mean, maybe I'm crazy for this, but how the hell are there that many teams thinking we need Klay Thompson right now?
Just buy low, low risk, high reward, probably just
Yeah,
because of his
Yeah,
status.
fair.
who he is. It's like what I said about James Harden earlier in the year about the big contracts. Like you're more so paying for the name rather than like what you're gonna get.
True.
But he could produce, like I said, maybe he just needs a change of scenery.
I do like that Orlando take though, because I was thinking about putting the Magic. That was like on my list in there. Not to be a LeBron cat moment, but they do have really good defense. What I wanted to highlight. I don't know if you said that.
They do. And they just have a really good young squad overall. They got Wendell Carter back, who's been playing really well recently. And yeah, they just have a very solid, they have a pretty big team around them too. Jalen Suggs brings a lot of energy. They have their future franchise player in Paolo, Franz Hooper. They got all the pieces. They just need to age.
I'm gonna bring us back to that Bucks take because I did want to throw, like, I think Victor's take holds a lot of actual weight. So I'm just basically gonna use this next minute to just shit on the Bucks here. But the Sixers, I think, will beat the Milwaukee Bucks this year in the playoffs. Some stats are Doc Rivers is 16-17 right now since picking up the Bucks job. Second one, Bucks are on a losing streak. They've lost to Toronto, Memphis, and Washington. Third, Giannis just went down with that awkward calf injury thing that I'm sure all of you saw. And yeah, the Bucks are just like spiraling right now, right before the playoffs. And I think just the combination of all of those things is I think they're just in a really bad spot because Embiid is starting to look like himself again. Not that he didn't look like him. He wasn't far from himself when he came back, but yeah, man. I think the Sixers are going to beat them. I really do. Campaign
So
redemption arc.
not that
God.
not that anyone gives a shit, but I definitely do not agree with Victor and Miles. I don't know how Kevin feels, but I actually think that the Bucks will make it out. I'm reminded by a quote by UConn's head coach Dan Hurley, who said in 20, I think it was 21,
2020.
was it 2020? Yeah, he basically said, "Get your win, get us while you can," implying that teams were beating them and they weren't doing so good. And then they won two back-to-back national championships. So, you know, I'm not saying that the Bucks are going to win the championship. All I'm saying is that I think that people aren't giving enough credit to the kind of player. I mean, and it's not that people aren't giving enough credit to these players. It's their performance this year hasn't been amazing. But that being said, I think people are forgetting who we're going to be able to watch in the playoffs, and that's Damian Lillard and Giannis. So I'm
And
kind of
Doc
bagging them out on
Rivers.
that.
This is
Oh,
Doc Rivers. This isn't Dan Hurley.
He
yeah.
knows he knows how to lose.
Okay, call me crazy, but Daniel, weren't you just saying that you didn't think the Bucks were gonna be a top seed?
Yeah,
And now,
didn't you just
Yeah,
say a little bit ago they were going to be like fourth or fifth seed?
yeah,
Head ass.
He
Oh,
doesn't
I hope
know.
the
He
Knicks.
doesn't.
I
no,
hope
no,
the
no, no,
Knicks
no, no, no,
win.
no,
I
no, no,
hope the
no, no,
Knicks
He
no,
win
doesn't.
so they pass the
no, 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 no,
Bucks.
no, 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 no.
He doesn't
Daniel
know.
does. Daniel does know. I was bringing
I'm
up an
sensing a
earlier
trend.
comment. I was bringing up an earlier comment that I made at the beginning of the season, which was that the Bucks. You guys had said that the Celtics and Bucks would be 1 and 2 in the East, and I basically just said that no, I don't think they will be. Which right now it's looking like I'm wrong, and they are doing well. But yeah, that's two different things than me saying they're not going to be make a deep playoff run. Right? We've seen teams. I mean, I just made the comment that the Lakers will make a good playoff run, and they're eighth right now, or no, ninth. Yeah, ninth right now. So, two different things. Come on now.
Good defense.
I smell
'Cause
cap.
Yeah, well, I smell
That's
tuna, Victor. Close your legs.
that's just his feet, Victor. So that concludes our NBA playoff hot takes. Let us know down below what you guys think. But to semi close out today's episode before we head into comment of the week, we are going to blind rank some NBA championship teams. So I got a list of 5 teams here. I'm going to list them off, and Daniel, Victor, and Miles are going to blindly rank them. So starting off with this list, I have the 2022 Golden State Warriors. There's a total of 5 teams, by the way.
5.
I think 4.
Come on, man. One of the weakest championship teams ever.
What?
5. Like, yes, it's historic. It's historic.
But it is weak. It is
but
weak
them
in
against
comparison.
a lot of other championship teams, they're not
But
winning.
I think for
Wait,
my
they're
team,
weak?
2022 Golden State Warriors in a list of 5 other championship teams, they could be considered weak. I don't know what you're going to throw in there, but there's a lot of good. You could throw in Golden State Warriors from 17 or 18. And I think that they would be stronger. And 16.
I'm gonna be honest, no Celtics bias. I think this is a for sure 5.
I think it could be 4, though.
Championship team is worse?
I think it could be 4.
Is there a worse championship team that I'm just not thinking of?
Don't just lock in your picks, yo.
Raptors.
Well, we all got to come to an agreement.
I think Raptors beat the Warriors. I mean, they were injured, but still.
I'm okay. Okay, like I'm not gonna lie. If we took it to a vote, I would vote 4 too. Right now,
I guess 4.
Locking in 4.
There's literally no one named a worse championship team.
No, we got 4. All right, next team on the list, the 2008 Boston Celtics.
That's number 2 or 3. It's got to be 2 or 3. There's a lot of better teams, but they're up there.
I maybe 3. Because I still think that in the list of like the 1 and 2, there's a lot of names still that could be thrown around.
Yeah, I say I'm good with 3.
I'm good with 3.
3's cool with me.
Locking into 08 Celtics.
My gut was
3.
telling me 2, though.
I mean, my first pick was 2 too, but we'll
He's
just leave it
he's gonna have the Mavs on here, so those must be number 5 then if he throws the Mavs.
And he just changed it.
I didn't have the Mavs on here. Fat Big. Coming in at 3rd, we have the 2014 San Antonio Spurs.
Sorry, what year Spurs?
14.
That's the Kawhi Spurs, right? Kawhi, Parker, all
Yeah.
of them. 60 wins.
That's pretty weak.
Are they better than
Bro, what?
Well, we're not gonna put him at 2, are we?
they're
He doesn't-
definitely
he doesn't.
stronger than the Warriors.
My God, you don't know who Tim Duncan is.
I don't know. I guess
have
if
no idea how
if we
good
put
Tim
them at
Duncan was. Oh
2,
my God.
and then
That
he
team-
throws around another good team.
That team took down the Heat, bro.
We can put him at 2. It seems like you guys
I
are
was
both-
cool with 2
I'm
Alright,
cool
we'll
with
put him at
2.
2.
because I don't know who 1 is yet.
All right, Kev, give us.
All right. 4th team, we have the 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers.
5.
Yeah,
It's got to be 5.
that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah,
but-
I mean, like if yeah.
I don't, but
On-
not- but what they did beat the 73
They're not-
and 9.
Yeah, but that was pre-KD. The next year's Warriors team was better. Record 73-9 or not. I think
Is that Cavs team? That I mean, yeah. I mean, this list isn't terrible because then the 5 and the 4 are just like interchangeable. 2022 Golden State Warriors over Cavs. I mean, I wouldn't argue that, but I don't hate it either.
yeah, I would say it's definitely wrong, but it's like not as wrong as it would be if we put them 1 and Kevin throws us like the fucking Last Dance Bulls or something.
Which I mean, like you said it yourself, Miles. There's not a lot of bad teams that he could throw our way now. So
Yeah. The
this
only
is on
ones I
you.
could see are like Matt. It's on me, bro. What you talking
Yeah,
about?
this
There's
is
3.
on-
There's
this
fucking
is on
3
you.
votes. What are you
Y'all
talking
ready
about?
for the?
yeah,
Y'all
we're
ready
the
for your
last
number
one.
1?
Yeah, what's our number 1?
All right. So to reiterate the list, I'm gonna count down here. At 4th place, at 5th place, you had the 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers. In 4th place, you had the 2022 Golden State Warriors. 3rd place, 08 Celtics. 2nd place, 2014 Spurs. and your guys' best NBA championship team blindly ranking this team. Gotcha, 2019 Raptors.
Fucking I.
I like them more than.
Number one.
Do I like them
No,
more
he
than
got us. He got
anyone?
us. He got us. That was good. I figured that there was gonna be some fucking shit. Like he was gonna be able to throw a shitter out there, and they're not shitters. But I knew that he was gonna make it tough, and that is a tough list.
Yeah. To say shitters is crazy because these are all champions.
Yeah,
Who
no,
was?
they're not
I'm
shitters.
sorry.
Literally.
Who was number 2 again?
Spurs.
14 Spurs.
Okay, I like the only team I like the Raptors more than is the 2022 Warriors. So at least they're above one team.
You really put them above the Warriors though?
Yeah, I think the 2019 Raptors would beat the 2022 Warriors.
All right, Kevin, give us the actual answers.
I don't think there's an actual list.
No, I know. I was just
Uh,
This is
uh,
like a very debatable list.
yeah, I mean, how would we rank this? I
I
think
think
It
two and
really is.
3 you just moved down to the 1 and 2.
Who's the worst team?
the Warriors easily.
I think it's the Raptors.
looking at it.
Oh, over Cleveland?
Well,
Cleveland has LeBron and Kyrie Irving. Like
And Kevin Love when he was fucking doing his thing.
that playoff run was like historic. But just solely based off if we're putting like teams against teams, I think Cleveland could lose to a lot of the other teams. They beat the Raptors, they beat the Warriors, I think.
A healthy Cleveland team from 2016 I think, would probably beat the Raptors. No, I don't even think. I know that they'd beat the Raptors.
LeBronto.
They'd lose to the Celtics and they'd lose to the Spurs, I think.
The
Put them at
Raptors?
3.
Who-
No. Cleveland.
Oh,
I'd
okay.
have my list would probably be 2022 Warriors at 5, 2019 Raptors at 4, Cleveland at 3, probably Boston 2, Spurs 1.
So you don't think 2016 Cavs would be able to beat, or wait, you think 2016 Cavs would beat 2022 Golden State Warriors?
100%, yeah. I mean, they did. Like they already did pretty much.
Well, I don't know, man.
They beat that core already.
What
Unless
if we
you want
looked
to
at
say
like
like Jordan Poole makes a difference.
Well, no, I was gonna say,
does.
what if we looked at like
Wiggins.
comp? Like who did the Warriors have to play to get that 2022 championship? I know they played the Celtics in the championship.
They
They
had
beat
to.
they beat the Grizzlies round 1 when the Grizzlies were really good that year.
Okay, that's one.
Who else did they beat?
Let me-
They had to beat the Nuggets probably.
I also want to know like who they were healthy against too, though. I'm kind of looking at all that right now. We're trying to at least.
But I don't really see like what like Cleveland already beat that core.
Well, okay, so I guess my point of that is that like in the Raptors, when the Raptors won, there was a lot of injuries going on at that time, and like the Raptors team just wasn't like that strong. I feel like
Bro,
if you
no
gave me
one's
that team,
arguing the
I'd take it.
Raptors. We're arguing the Cavs.
Well, no, I'm saying Raptors at 5.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, you could switch 4 and 5, but I think Kawhi Leonard was on another level.
That Raptors team was pretty solid, bro.
Yeah,
I
dude, they
think people
were
hate
they
on
were
them too
fucking.
No,
much.
I mean I'm not saying that they like you guys said. This is a team of all championships. None of them are shitters. But I'm just giving my opinion. I think that they are the weakest of this list.
Prime Kawhi Leonard.
You're just lost in the ass, the sauce,
No, that's crazy.
fucking
All
the
right.
dunk.
Do you think I just thought of it. Do you think that the Bucks team, was it 2021 that they won,
Yeah.
Yeah.
is worse than any of these teams mentioned?
Mm,
Thinking.
No,
Are-
I mean
Are they worse then? They're worse than the Celtics. They're worse than the Spurs. I feel like they match up good against Cleveland. But I think Cleveland would still. I'm probably taking Cleveland over the Bucks.
What about
I
the
think I would too.
Warriors?
Compare them to the Raptors and the Warriors. I feel like that's like a better.
Yeah, I think they could beat the Raptors. I think they would beat the Warriors. That team was stacked, dude. The Warriors are just like end of their prime. Like a lot of the Warriors' success was also the Celtics playing like shit. Like this, and that's not taking away from the Warriors' defense, but like that series was horrible for the Celtics. I feel like they just weren't ready. That was like an extreme experience, like foot stomp on the Celtics, I feel like. But I don't know. They were like end of prime. They were like end of their primes. Like that was like their last dance run. That's why I feel like a lot of like young prime teams could beat them. But that's just my opinion.
Definitely see the logic.
To conclude our episode today, we're going to go into our comment of the week segment where we give back to the community that supports us and we highlight a comment that we all want to react to. And I'm pretty sure we've seen this one. This one was pretty much a no-brainer consensus comment of the week just based solely on how popular it was. So, on our reel, our current most popular reel on the channel, we discussed Draymond Green being on the trajectory of changing his name, similar to Meta World Peace being the name change for Ron Artest. And this comment with 2,612 likes from BHEG07, who won last week or a week before, says Ron Artest just sounds like a violent name,
It
How
which
many
he's
likes
right.
really does.
did that
He
comment
is
get?
right.
2,612 likes.
Jesus
That's crazy.
Christ.
That's
Bro
a
better,
shit ton.
yeah, bro better got us some follower requests too.
Yeah. Ron Artest just sounds like a violent name. It's facts. It really is.
There was another comment on that, I think, real too. It was like breaking news: puppy lover gets suspended for body slamming Patrick Beverly. I thought you were gonna say that one
Where was
There's
that one on the Instagram reels?
on Instagram. Yeah,
there's also the one where someone referred to Draymond's new name as Everyone Be Nice. Everyone
I
Be
saw that
Nice
one
from the
too. That was funny.
Warriors.
People
Low
were
key,
in,
there was.
People were
people were
tweaking
engaging pretty
this.
well.
Yeah. People were tweaking this week for sure. But a lot of good comments. That was
Sure.
probably the best.
Thank you all for tuning in to GMLB's episode this week. We hope you guys enjoyed it. We drop episodes every Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure to check us out. And we'll see you all next week.